welcome back to my channel. So previously in one of my videos I spoke about the fact that I've been doing things to like just help my mental health overall, mostly because the beginning of this year has been like really shitty, and I had to do something to like not get consumed by the things that were happening or the situations or circumstances that I was in. So to me it was really important that this year I was going to focus on my mental health. I was going to work really hard to find myself, be myself, and be who I am unapologetically. You know, like if people don't like it, they don't like it. This is who I am, and that's where I'm at. So in order to deal with that, especially being someone that's a huge people pleaser, I had to come up with some routines to basically help me to not get consumed in my thoughts. And so I'm going to share with you guys what I do, or like basically do now, not what I've been doing, what I do now, to basically just keep a clear head, keep myself grounded, and just focus on finding myself, being myself, and focusing on what's important. So let's jump right into it. Firstly, the first thing that I've been doing is reading. So anybody that knows me knows that I have never, ever been a reader. I am not someone who like has the time or patience or concentration levels to sit and read a book. It sounds kind of crazy saying it out loud, to be honest, but I always filled my time with other things, and I decided that like, no, I do want to be the girl that reads. You know, I might not be like super obsessed with it, but I want to try because I want to see what this is all about and why people are always like recommending like reading and things. So I have been reading. This book was bought for me like so long ago, like years ago, and I never ever picked it up. And so when I decided I was gonna read a book, this book for some reason, it's just the one I picked up and the one I started reading. However, I did not expect to get so caught up in this book. So I'm going to give you a brief book review so that you guys, if you want to read it, you can. This is the book. It's called The Widow. It's a novel by Fiona Barton. This is how much I've read already, and this is what I still have to go. So I've definitely like been reading this book, and for me to like read a novel, it's just like, it's like when I told my brother, he was literally like, you reading? Really? And I was like, yes, I've been reading. And although I give this book probably like a 7 out of 10, I do think there are ones that are way more interesting. I have to give this book credit for captivating me enough to get me this far. I started reading this book in the beginning of January. It's now the beginning of February, and I'm like almost done with it, which amazes me. So firstly about the book, it's like a crime story type thing, but the book jumps from like the perspective of the detective, the widow, and the reporter. The only thing with this book I would say is like, if you are very sensitive to crimes against children, I do not recommend you read this book. It really caught me off guard. I did not know that is what the book was about. But then once I started reading, I need to know whether or not this guy got away with what he did. In any case, I don't want to give the book away in case anyone does want to read it, but I am going to say that the book has a main focus on crimes against children, and it does also lean into like pornography, and that's all I'm gonna say. So if you are sensitive about things like that, I do not recommend this book at all. It is a like crime and mystery story, which is what captivated me, but it's not a book I would easily recommend to someone if you don't know that person well enough. You have to have a strong heart to be able to read this. However, very interesting to the extent that I need to know more. I need to know what happened, how this happened, like how did they prevent it, how did everything go down. Like, so yeah, I'm still reading. I haven't gotten to the end yet, but so far yeah, it definitely captivated me. It did what it needed to do, and I definitely think I'll be reading more from this point on. I do want to find the niche of book that I think I'm gonna be interested in, but this has helped me a lot. And I must say that, like, the reason why I feel like I never read before is because it always felt like something you had to do and you had to have time to do. But the truth of the matter is, like, if the story is good enough, it doesn't matter how long it takes you. You don't forget what you've already read. So what I do is I leave it like in the bathroom, or like when I'm taking baths, or whenever the kids are busy or there's load shedding or things like that, and that's when I pick it up and I read. But I don't feel like before, I felt like I'm scared I read something, then I get distracted, and then I'm not going to remember what I read, and then I'm going to be put off. It's not like that at all. And I do feel like it's helped my mental health a lot. It's given me more of like an inner peace, being able to escape to that little world just for that little moment every now and then. So this is something I definitely recommend. If you're not a reader, just find the niche of book or like the category that stands out to you and transports you to that different world just for that little bit, where you don't have to think about your problems, you don't have to think about reality. That is going to help a lot, and it has been helping me a lot. So that was the first thing. Then the other thing that I've been doing is that Mark and I started doing some exercises. We are not doing this to lose weight. We are doing this to be healthy, to be active, and to be moving our bodies. So we started doing these Nike workouts. I don't know, some people say Nike, some say Nike, but they're on Netflix. So literally just go to Netflix, type in Nike workouts, you'll see them pop up. We've been doing those. Last week I had a really tough time with my period, so I ended up not working out. But we're not pushing ourselves to like strain ourselves or anything like that. We want this to be a long-term thing, and so we are doing as best we can. On the days where we aren't able to exercise for whatever reason, we do go on walks or just do something that is physically active to replace that for that day. So yeah, so that's what we've been doing. It's been going really great. We really enjoy it, and we enjoy doing it together. I think it's important to do it together with someone because it's just more motivating, and you motivate each other. The other thing also is that we are not doing this to lose weight. If we lose weight, that's flippin' fantastic, but we are doing this just to live a healthier lifestyle. This also, I feel, has given me a lot more energy, has motivated me way more, and like given me more discipline. So really good for my mental health. I've really been enjoying that. Then the other thing is going on walks with the kids. So like I said, whenever we don't have the opportunity to exercise, or if we feel like we just want to do this thing all together, we just go on a walk with the kids around the complex. It's quite a big complex, so we get a good amount of exercise in, but most of all, it's spending time with the children. So even besides the walks, we're trying to do more things with the kids as a family, you know, just to spending more time with the children keeps you also distracted from other things, making sure they're happy, and you know, all those types of things. But it's been fun. I've really enjoyed the walks with the children. We're trying to do it more and more when we have the ability. It's been raining a lot, so we haven't done it recently, but that also has been really good for my mental health, and it's allowing us to spend time together without screens. So that's really important. So yeah, we're actually getting to chat to the children. We're like bonding as a family. So that's been a really good thing for my mental health. The other thing I've been doing is taking baths. I never used to bath a lot. I used to always shower, in and out, get it done, whatever. But I've realized that, and I think I've picked this up from a lot of Japanese anime, that say like it's so important to rest. And a lot of times what they do to rest is they soak in the bath. So they wash beforehand and then they just soak your muscles, fully relax, fully immerse yourself in just letting your body breathe and let out that stress. So I have been doing that. I've invested in a lot of nice things like bath salts and face masks and bath bombs and bubble baths and all those sort of things. So just taking that time also to myself, away from the children, away from Marco, even though they do come and disturb me sometimes, but just taking that time to have that bath and to let my body relax has also made a huge difference. So I guess it definitely is a form of self-care, but it's not about getting clean as much as, because you wash before, and I get in the shower, I wash, and then I soak in the bath. So it's not about being clean or bathing or washing. It's about literally soaking in the warm water and letting your body fully relax. I usually read in the bath or I watch something, so it's my me time. Then the other thing that I've been doing is plants. I've been planting. So the garden is pretty much where we want it to be now, so there's not that much to do in the garden, but I have gotten myself some house plants and just basically taking the time to make sure that they're sorted for, watered, cleaned, give the energy to the plants that they require, things like that. So I definitely have started to invest more in plants and gardening. I'm gonna call it gardening even though it's in the house because I don't know what else to call it, but it's basically, for me, it's about I am an earth element, I'm a Taurus, so for me it's about connecting to the earth and being more in tune with us as human beings on the earth, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's too deep, but yeah, I just I want more plants. I want to be surrounded by more earthly things and have more of an earthly environment, because everything gives off energy. So your environment and your surroundings are going to give off a specific energy. So if you make that effort to only allow good energy in your space, and especially bringing the outside in, I think is such a good energy to ground you. I think, yeah, so that's basically what I've been doing. Plus, I never used to be able to keep plants alive. Now I do. I don't know how I got it right, but I found my green thumbs and I've been focusing on on just doing that. It's also, it distracts my mind and keeps me in a very happy place. And the other thing I've been doing is trying my best, although I am human, to not be negative about negative situations, to focus on what is important. So although we've been through so much this year already and it's only been a month, I try not to dwindle too long in those situations in my head, because if I do, I'm just going to end up going into a dip. So a lot of times in January, I do always find myself in quite a mental dip. And even though with everything going on, I found that I did not go through that dip in January this year like I always do, and I'm very proud of myself for that. And I do believe these coping mechanisms is what has helped me to avoid that. So yeah, for example, Orion being in hospital, I could have been completely consumed and exhausted by that, but I chose not to look at it that way. We focused on getting him better. We got him better. Now he's home. Now we focus on the fact that he is healthy and he is home, and we move forward. I don't want to be consumed by the situations that are, or circumstances of life. You know what I mean? I don't want to live, or don't want it to pay rent in my head, if that makes sense. I don't even know what I'm saying, but yeah, that's what I've been doing, focusing on what's important, focusing on not getting consumed by circumstance. So yeah, that's a very hard one for me, but it's something that I think with time will become habit, and I think that's important. Having the right mindset changes everything. And then last but not least, the last thing that I've been doing is self-care. I didn't think self-care was such a big thing back in the day, but I realize now, especially with me getting older, that self-care is really important, because you can't fill others' cup if your cup is empty, right? So I've been making sure to fill my cup first and looking after myself. This is from doing my nails to face masks to the baths to dressing nice and feeling good and putting makeup on and exercising. All of that comes down to self-care and just looking after myself, my body, my environment, inside and outside, and just making more effort to surround myself with things that I enjoy, things that make me feel good about myself. So even if that means buying a 20 Rand t-shirt every month, if that's what's going to make you feel good on the outside and the inside, then that's what you have to do. So for me, doing my nails is very important for me, and I know it's an expense, but it helps me feel better about myself and helps me move forward and like be more confident in what I do and who I am and what I say. So it's a small thing that makes such a big difference in my life. Same with skincare and hair care and body and all of that. So that is the other thing that I've been doing that's really helped my mental health a lot, because I always feel like the moment you sacrifice yourself, especially after having kids, our bodies change, the way we think about ourselves change, and it changes the way we do things. Now, you are going to get consumed in that for a while, but there's a point where you have to say, I'm picking myself up. We are fixing these things that are a problem to me. We are doing what I feel is going to make me feel better. Me. You know? You must do for yourself sometimes also. Anyway, I'm not gonna get too deep into that. But yeah, so at the end of the day, fill your own cup first, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, on the inside, on the outside. Do what you've got to do to help yourself first, then you go and help others. So use that power to go and be a better person to better other people, if that makes sense. But I also want to be the best version of myself for my kids, because they deserve that. You know what I mean? So it's very important for me to make sure that mentally I am in a really good place to raise these kids to be really good people. And I can only give them myself, and if that is what needs to happen, I need to give them only the best parts of myself. And yeah, that's basically what the point of all of this is for. Anyway, before this video gets too long, that's what I've been doing. Please share your own mental health tips. I do follow one of my friends, Pause for Self-Care with Di. I'll leave her YouTube channel down below. Her mental health workshops have been amazing, and I've learned a lot from them as well. So yeah, leave your own mental health tips down below, or what do you do to help yourself mentally be a better person, and are you doing it for the long run? That's something you need to ask yourself. Other than that, I'm really happy you guys watched this video. I will see you in my next video, and if you guys have any video requests, don't forget to leave them below. I know y'all want vlogs are coming, don't worry. But I love you guys so much, and yeah, it means a lot to me that you guys are here. I will see you in my next video. Bye.